So we're going to take a look at lesson 16-4. I'm going to do the reteaching section with you in your practice book, making pictographs. You'll notice here that there is a tally table of the number of lunches that were ordered, or the type of lunches that were ordered. You had pasta, salad, casserole, and fish. Those were the types of food that were ordered. It shows you how many people ordered that particular item. And then they took the tally marks and represented each tally mark, or each of the tally mark groups, as a number. So in this case, pasta had 6 orders, salad had 4, casserole had 10, and fish had 8. Now, what they decided to do is use the end or the tip of a fork, and since these are all even numbers, they chose 2 to represent each fork tip in the pictograph. So if you notice, it's a basic table here. They inserted the food items from the tally table into the pictograph, and then they titled it items ordered, and then for each 2 meals they drew a fork tip. So since this is 6 meals, each one of these is going to represent 2 of the meals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pasta orders. 1, 2, 3, 4 salad orders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And finally, fish orders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each one of those pictures is showing 2 meals for that picture. So they did their steps a little different. They went a little bit backwards. I decided to put our title at the end here. They decided to put the title at the beginning. So they're asking you to write a title that explains what the pictograph shows. Choose a symbol for this pictograph and use in this case they're using a fork, and decide how many meals each fork will represent, which then in this case they represented 2. Draw the number of symbols that are needed for each food item. So I'm going to work with you on the reteach section. So we will look at, in this case, the tally table shows how Mrs. Hashimoto's class voted for their favorite types of movies to rent. So in this case, they asked us to do the title first. So we'll look at movie rentals, maybe, or favorite movie types, as long as it has something to do with the information that's in the table or data table. So completing the table, we're going to look at the votes, and you'll notice here I completed the table with the number of votes that represents the tallies that are there. And in this case we have 8 people like to rent our action videos, 3 people like to rent comedy movies, 6 people like drama, and 10 people like animated, which are cartoon. So in this case, we're now going to decide what we want each of our symbols to be, how much we want each symbol to represent. So in this case, if you notice, most of our numbers here are even. So it might be a good idea to represent each video cassette as 2. So if we look at our action videos, and we have 8, if I draw 1, 2, 3, 4 votes there, 6 votes there, and 8 votes. So I have my 8 votes represented as symbols. Comedy, 2. Now, if I draw another symbol here, that would be 4. I don't want 4, I want 3. So I'm going to take half of that symbol. I'm going to erase the other half, and this is going to represent 1 instead of 2. So since these were 2, I'm just going to label them so you can see how they represent. Drama, trying to make them all the same size. That would be 6, 2, 4, 6. And this kind of goes along the same lines of using multiplication. 2, 4, 6, 8, and I'm going to have to go a little bit beyond the table, and there's 10. So now, if we look at number 3, it asks us to explain how did you choose the number that each symbol represents. So since each one of these numbers, with the exception of 3, was an even number, it was a good idea to represent each cassette as 2. So the numbers in the table were mostly even, so we chose an even number, which was 2, or the even number, which is 2. So now let's go on to the back page, and you're going to do this on your own. I'm going to get you started by helping you look at how to make the pictograph. So on number 1, and this one's going to be number 1. So number 1, and this is on the practice book page, make a pictograph to show the data in this chart, write a title, and choose a key. So in this case, we are looking at the color of cars. We've shown red, green, silver, and black, and we've written that into our pictograph. We need to represent each amount in the pictograph. So we're going to choose a key. I've chosen the key. I'm choosing the symbol of a star, and each star is going to represent 2 cars. Since these are even numbers, it might be best to use even number like 2. So I'm going to let you finish that pictograph on your own. You're going to answer the rest of the questions, 2, 3, 4, on your own, and we will talk about this particular lesson during our Zoom meeting on Wednesday or Friday.